Hey everyone, Chris with Grassroots Healing. So I walked into the kitchen and I saw my wife making biscuits and gravy, and I was like, hey, let me record this to throw it out there for some people to have a recipe on how they maybe want to use to make some gluten-free biscuits and gravy. So I did. It's not going to be the best of quality. I'm trying to do the best I can with what I got, and bringing you some tutorials on how to make different dishes and such. But I will have a list of the ingredients that you need in the video, so that way you can see, and plus you're going to see everything that we do use. Feel free to add to, subtract to, or subtract from, subtract away. I can't think you can subtract to. Anyway, add to or take away any of the ingredients. Just kind of use this as a base foundation for your own creation that you make at home. I love eating gluten-free. I don't really advocate eating anything with gluten in it. I do splurge sometimes on different occasions. It really depends on what it is I'm going to splurge on, but very rarely do I do it. I think I have a gluten sensitivity, and I can tell in the ensuing days ahead, and I can always relate it back to my diet, what I had in relation to how I feel. So keep that in mind. But really, really good recipe, and I hope you enjoy the video. And remember to tweak it here and there if you want to, or you don't have to follow this video to the T on the ingredients, but just try to do the very best you can with what you got, as that's what we always try to do. And remember, be an advocate of your own health. And until next time, my friends, y'all enjoy. We'll see you around. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Chris and my wife Amanda next to me with Grassroots Healing, mastering your health and teaching you how to be a health advocate. Our little quick tutorial that we have today, just thought about recording this, so you missed some of the process of what we've done here, but I've got chicken, is this chicken and sage? Chicken and sage organic sausage by Applegate Farms. It's really good. So they come in links, and what I did was just cut them all up into little pieces, because what we're making is some biscuits and gravy. This is the brand right here, chicken and sage breakfast sausage by Applegate Naturals. Really good stuff. My children love it, everybody loves it. And this is what we're using. This is Pamela's biscuit and scone mix, vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free. It says gluten-free plus whole grain. I've never noticed that. Let's see what we got in here. Okay, those are just some directions. Here's the ingredients. Will you tap the screen to get the focus in on that? Brown rice flour, tapioca starch, potato starch, sorghum flour, white rice flour, sweet rice flour, grainless and aluminum-free baking powder, and guar gum, baking soda, evaporated cane sugar, and sea salt.
That's the sorghum.
And the mixture of the starches and flours there. But anyway, because of those ingredients, I just realized those will still cause a spike in insulin release, so limit yourself on those. But my wife is making them out into little biscuits right here. But these are really good. Now, it's not going to have the texture of your traditional biscuit, that doughy feel, that doughy elasticity comes from the gluten and gliadin protein that is in wheat, barley, rye, and oat. And so yeah, we're just kind of giving these a little brown texture to add some extra flavor to the gravy, and that's probably good. We can turn the heat down. I got it on 3 back there. Move it to low. This is the dough mix that she had made right here, and they just come out to, so you can kind of see how high we got them, maybe almost an inch, if not. They will be a little hard, but I kind of anticipated that, and so I actually enjoy them. Just I wanted to give a heads up on here that they will not have doughiness. They won't have that elasticity to it, so don't get upset if your biscuits didn't turn out like a traditional biscuit, because that's not the idea of these gluten-free biscuits. The whole idea of gluten is to provide that doughiness to your dough. And the word gluten comes from the Latin word meaning glue, so kind of put two and two together there. Well, we'll come back with you here in just a moment after we take these out of the oven, make the gravy, stir in the sausage, and show you the final product. Okay, so we're back, and I got the flours that we'll use to make the gravy. The gravy will be gluten-free as well. This is Otto's cassava flour from the yucca root. So we got gluten-free, grain-free, nut-free. Then we got Arrowhead Mills organic coconut flour. This one here, both organic, non-GMO, gluten-free. They got the stamp on there. Really good stuff. You can see the nutrition facts. Organic coconut flour. Look at that. There's a little recipe on how to make banana bread. We'll have to try that sometime. Record y'all a video of us making that. So once we get these components here mixed together, we'll show you the process and we'll be back. So I'm asking my wife because we actually didn't show you the video on how we made the dough from the biscuit mix, but I'm sure you just dumped the powder into the bowl.
A stick of butter.
A stick of butter. I don't think we have our butter in here that we use.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. We got the Kerrygold pure Irish butter, grass-fed. So we put a stick of butter into the mixing bowl. What else?
Added a little of this.
So my wife says that she added a little bit of this.
Like a couple tablespoons of extra butter to see if it'll give it more moisture.
Okay, so she's trying a little bit, deviating a little bit from the recipe on there to see if it's going to add a little bit more moisture to the biscuits, because they are going to be a little bit more of on the crunchier side. This right here is by Dave Asprey's brand Bulletproof Brain Octane Oil. I'm trying to say that and fuel at the same time. Foil? No, that's bad. So caprylic acid triglycerides, that comes from your coconut oil, which you can see back here. If we look at the type of medium chain triglycerides that are in this, it doesn't say, but normally has like caprylic, capric, and lauric, and this is all caprylic acid right here. And you can see you get 130 grams of calories per tablespoon, but really good stuff. It goes in my coffee each day. Alright, here we go, folks. Biscuits are going in 20 to 25 minutes. We're about to make some bricks. Alright, so what we're doing is we're about to make the gravy. Here's our milk that we're using for the gravy. We're doing grass-fed Organic Valley milk. Typically we don't do milk or drink it, but this is just one of those occasions that we are using milk. What did you say for every cup, Amanda?
Every tablespoon of oil, a tablespoon of flour.
This is our oil that we're using, the Chosen Blends organic oil.
Mix these half and half.
We're live. It says tablespoon or teaspoon?
Table.
2 tablespoons of oil. 3 tablespoons of oil. Is there a reason we're switching over? My wife can open the coconut oil here.
It's too slippery.
Alright, never mind. We didn't use the coconut oil over there. So she put in 4 tablespoons of the Chosen Blend oil. What measurement is this right here?
Half and half of the coconut and cassava.
1 tablespoon of half.
4 tablespoons of oil and 4 tablespoons of the flour mixture.
Okay, so the flour mixture we have is that coconut flour that I showed you by the Arrowhead Mills, and then the cassava flour right here. So it's just half and half. Salting the, what do you call that right there? The flour, peppering the flour. And then what do you got, half a cup of milk?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not, I didn't find a cup, so I'm using half a cup, but I'll need more than that. I just kind of want to brown it at first a little. Might need a little more oil. Make sure it's good consistency.
And this is whenever we do this a lot, we just eyeball in here. We don't do measurements. We typically like to do a lot of eyeballing around here. So there goes the milk. We got the flour nice and browned. And we removed the chicken sausage. It's right here. My goodness, the lighting is so terrible. Yeah, this is raw, uncut, live. And so we're just going to let this heat thicken up our gravy. Here's what our gravy is looking like right now. Just allowing it to thicken a little bit. How much milk do you think we put in there?
I don't know. Just kind of eyeballing.
All right, you heard her. She said, "I don't know." Eyeballing it.
Some people like their gravy.
It just depends on the consistency
liquid.
of your gravy. You want it runny, you want it thick and creamy. So you can kind of just.
You can always add more flour to thicken it if you pour too much milk. Getting it to where you like it.
My wife said you can also use almond milk if you don't want to do the dairy. Like I said, we typically don't drink dairy milk, period. But this is one exception that we like to use it for in our gravy.
Of course, it tastes a little better with the milk.
So my wife's taking the sausage and then just putting that right on the top. So again, what we got is a gluten-free sausage gravy, and we have gluten-free biscuits that are in the oven here, and you can see they're beginning to rise a bit and get a little bigger. I've almost made some homemade throwing stones. And just a tad bit more milk in there. And then typically you'll have your grease left over from your sausage, but that particular brand, the Applegate Natural Farms Chicken and Sage sausage, doesn't produce a lot of grease for those links, and I forget how many links were in a box. Do you remember? 6 to 8, something like that. So yeah, my wife was saying that we didn't even collect a teaspoon or even a pinch of grease. There wasn't really anything, just enough to kind of coat the pan, but there was no grease.
Yeah.
There are 10. There we go. Here's our biscuits right here. So this is what they look like. Little mud cakes. They're brown a little bit on the bottom there, but they want on the top. And this is our gravy. It's kind of nice and thick. And we're just putting a little bit of butter over the top of them. And then that's about it. Alright, so here's one right here with a little bit of beautiful raspberry preserve over the top of it, as you can see here on my beautiful, lovely paper plate. Alright, and here's the final product of the wonderful biscuits. Oh yeah, and the briskets, the bricks. The biscuits are not rock hard. They are not bricks. They are really, really good, thanks to my wife. And the only thing that I did in this meal was record and chop up the sausages. Other than that, everything else was made by my wife. So thank you to her. and we are now going to enjoy. John and Jody Francis, here's a recipe for you guys, because I know y'all love gluten-free foods, and yeah, hope y'all get to see this video. Alright everyone, take care. We're going to enjoy this, and